From haunted houses to cursed artifacts, from whispers in the dark to battles you'll never read in scripture. This is the Unholy Podcast, hosted by Doug Owen, author, investigator, and survivor of one of the most harrowing real-life hauntings ever documented. Each week, Doug pulls back the veil between this world and the next, sharing stories that aren't fiction, because he lived them. Prepare yourself. The silence is over.
Tonight's story isn't about ghosts. It isn't about demons that cling to walls or houses that whisper at midnight. It's about something stranger, something that looks human but isn't. They come in pairs. They knock on your door late at night. They speak with old-fashioned politeness, and their words sound rehearsed like lines from a script. You open the door, and everything in you screams, "Don't let them in," because then you see their eyes. No whites, no pupils, just solid black voids. They are the black-eyed children. And if the stories are true, they've been showing up more often than anyone wants to admit. I'm author Doug Owen, and this is the Unholy Podcast. Now, the legend began with one man, a journalist, Brian Bethel, in Abilene, Texas, back in 1996. He had pulled over one night near a movie theater to write a check before a show. Two boys approached his car window, maybe 12 or 13 years old. One said they wanted a ride home to get money for a movie ticket. Now, Bethel described feeling instant irrational fear. His hand froze above the door lock. The kid's speech was strange, too formal, too precise. And when he finally looked closer, he realized why his instincts screamed. Their eyes were entirely black. Of course, he fled the scene, terrified, and later he shared his experience online. That story spread like wildfire, and since then, reports of the black-eyed children have come from every corner of the world. The UK, Canada, Australia, even small-town Idaho. Every encounter begins the same way. A knock at the door, a very polite request to be let in, and the overwhelming sense that if you do, something terrible will happen. So, what are they? Well, some researchers believe that they are extraterrestrial mimics, hybrids testing human reactions. Their strange speech, pale skin, and unnatural calm support the idea that they're trying to pass as a human being, but don't quite understand how. Others call them demons in disguise, beings that use innocence as camouflage, waiting for permission to enter your home, your space, or your life. Now, that detail, needing permission, appears in almost every account. Another theory, that they're energy vampires, not feeding on blood but fear. They appear when your energy's low, defenses are down, when you're cranky, when you need a Snickers bar, when you're fussy. Now, they don't need to physically hurt you. They drain you by simply being near you. And there's the clinical aspect, the psychological theory, the tulpa, or thought form. And this is an entity born from mass belief, similar to mass hysteria. Thousands of people reading, sharing, and fearing the same image. Is that enough to give it shape? The simple power of suggestion and willing something into existence. We've all done it at times. But with enough people believing with all of their might and heart, Is that enough to create something out of nothing? Well, maybe the black-eyed children are all of these things. Maybe they're nothing more than a collective imagination. Or maybe there's something older, something wearing the mask of a child, because we're least likely to turn children away, right? Well, over the years, I've collected dozens of first-hand reports. In particular, 2 still stand out and chill me. So in Vermont in 2012, an elderly couple was home during a winter storm when a knock came at their door. At 2 a.m., 2 small figures stood on the porch, a boy and a girl, both shivering, asking to use the phone. Against their better judgment, the couple let them in. The husband noticed something was off right away. The children avoided the light, their heads remained bowed, and the wife brought them cocoa. Well, she dropped the mugs on the carpet. Their eyes were solid black. A moment later, the power went out because of the storm or because of something else. When the lights flickered back on, the children were gone. And for weeks after, both husband and wife reported suffering strange nosebleeds and constant fatigue. Case 2, Boise, Idaho. 2008. A woman driving home near Lucky Peak saw a boy standing on the roadside. Well, of course she pulled over, rolled down her windows and asked if he was hurt or if he needed help. He didn't answer. He just looked up. And yep, you guessed it. Solid black eyes. She slammed the car into gear and sped off. She looked back. He was gone. 5 minutes later, her engine mysteriously died. Well, every case carries the same pattern. They ask to come in or they ask for help, and once you refuse, they vanish. Now, I've spent most of my life documenting the paranormal. Voices in the dark, objects moving on their own, whispers that seem to come from nowhere. But the black-eyed children feel different. They're not just haunting places, they're seeking something. They knock because they want in. And they don't seem to be able to come in unless you say yes. Very similar to the ancient vampire lore. Well, maybe that's what makes this phenomenon so disturbing. It forces us to question what we would do ourselves. You see a child in need, are you going to help them? Do you open the door? Or do you listen to that little voice inside your head that says, don't do it? Sometimes the real horror isn't what's outside the door, it's part of us that's tempted to open the door. Well, I'm going to keep this one short tonight. So until there's more information on this, I'd like to revisit it. But if you've had your own encounter with the black-eyed children or anything that defies explanation, I'd love to hear about it. Visit authordougowen.com/contact or reach out through the podcast page. So I wish you all well. Until next time, keep your doors locked, your faith strong, and remember, not every knock deserves an answer.
You've just heard another chilling chapter of the Unholy podcast, hosted by Doug Owen, author, investigator, and witness to the things most fear to name. For more real stories, cursed objects, and exclusive content, step deeper into the dark at authordougowen.com. Subscribe, share, and remember, some silences aren't empty, they're waiting.